Hey everybody, Arnaldo here, broadcasting from Fidelios Frequency. Welcome to my channel. Today I would like to take you on a road trip, or at least talk to you about a road trip that I took a little over a week ago to the neighboring state of New Jersey, the Garden State, and this town is home to one of the most prestigious universities, Ivy League schools in the United States, and that is Princeton University. But we won't be talking about education or colleges. We will instead be talking about records, of course. And Princeton is also home to one of the best known record stores in the country and of the Northeast, and that is Princeton Record Exchange. I've been going to Princeton Record Exchange for the past 16 years, I would say. I've known about it for much longer, but I never had the opportunity to venture out of New York City. It's about an hour and a half from New York City, and to visit the store. Initially, I visited because I was still buying CDs. I wasn't fully switching over or switching back to buying records. So my first visits to Princeton Record Exchange were mostly concentrated on the CD section, which, as you probably saw from the video, is quite vast. There's walls of CDs, maybe a little bit less now than there were when I used to visit 15, 16 years ago, but there's still a great presence of stock of CDs. And I didn't get a chance to show you or flip through the prices, but the prices at Princeton Record Exchange are quite competitive. Even going back to 15 years ago, I was able to pick up CDs for $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. So amazing selection of CDs if you're still into CDs, and also a selection of Blu-rays. I don't remember if they were carrying VHS when I first started visiting, but definitely DVDs, Blu-rays, as I mentioned, and some audiophile CDs as well. And of course, records. Because back in 1980, when Barry Weisfeld founded Princeton Record Exchange, it was mostly records, probably almost exclusively, at least until probably mid-80s when we had the advent of CDs. Barry Weisfeld had the store all the way through 2015 until one of his general managers and longtime employees, John Lambert, bought out the Princeton Record Exchange, took it over, and I believe is still the current owner of Princeton Record Exchange. So it's been around since 1980, so that is 45 years. That's quite impressive for a record store to have weathered through the CD boom, and even more recently, maybe 10 years ago when a lot of record stores and CD stores were going out of business, they stuck it through and they're still here to tell their story. Princeton Record Exchange has been hailed as one of the top record stores in the country by Rolling Stone magazine, by CNN, by the Wall Street Journal. I mean, it's up there with, I guess, Amoeba is the most popular record store in the United States. Let's get to the records. So they have a vast selection of records. Maybe it fluctuates. There's times when I do find a little bit more inventory. Sometimes there's a little bit less. They have distinct sections, as you probably saw, based on genre. You have your rock, your jazz, soul, and funk. And I think they have smaller sections for international, metal, electronic. But also, as you probably saw in the video, they have a huge section, probably one of the biggest sections, that's called New Arrivals. It's where they stock their recent purchases, the recent collections that they've bought, and it is probably, I want to say, 8 bins deep, and or probably even more. They stock also plenty of new releases, and I happen to be there in the days after Record Store Day, and they still had quite a healthy stock of inventory from Record Store Day. And as a matter of fact, one of the titles that I was not able to get on the day of Record Store Day, lo and behold, and I'll show it to you shortly, I find it also there. As I mentioned regarding their competitive pricing on CDs, they are pretty competitively priced as far as records. Yes, they have retail price mostly for new releases, and I would have to say that their record store day releases were actually priced a little bit less than retail, maybe $1 or $2 less than retail. So kudos to Princeton Record Exchange for really not price gouging and being a very honest retailer. But if you take a look at the video, there were some sections of New Arrivals that are the higher priced items, and even those are not incredibly overpriced. There's actually one of them that I picked out, and I'll show you shortly, which was actually much cheaper and discounted from the original price, which was, of course, it's kind of like a rare record, so I was expecting to pay a little bit more for it. But at Princeton Record Exchange, anyone can build their record collection. You'll find your Rumors, your Hotel California, your Rush, Journey, and all classic rock, pop, and all very fairly priced, very affordable prices. And I have to say, the majority of them are in excellent condition. They do have sections of more budget records, which probably are not in the best condition, but they're well below in the understock, and I really didn't have time to flip through those. I have in the past, and I can tell you, yes, they are. You will find your $1 and $2 records in those sections as well. And now let me show you what I purchased at Princeton Record Exchange. It is a blend of the things that I talked to you about. So I'll show you a very common record to find, very affordable, very fairly priced. And it's a record of which I already own a copy, but unfortunately, when I bought it, I made a rookie mistake to not check what edition it was. And it is a Columbia House edition, which it's okay, but I was kind of bummed that it wasn't really the official pressing. And I've come across it other times. I've always passed on it. That's how common it is. But I couldn't pass this copy up because it's still in shrink and it still has the hype sticker. And I'm talking about Scarecrow by John Cougar Mellencamp. And as you can see here, very affordable price, only $4.99. So you can't go wrong with that. Excellent condition. And while we're on it, the little sticker price. If there is one thing, and my little pet peeve with Princeton Record Exchange, and it has bit me in the past, and I don't know if they have changed the quality of their little round sticker. This is something I've always hated, is that their stickers really don't come off at the expense of the album cover. I've tried in the past and I have removed parts of the cover. This one seems that it will come off pretty easily. It did on the other record that I purchased, so I'm fairly certain this one will come off too. But guys, if you could improve on your price stickers, I really would appreciate it. Next up was a very pleasant surprise, and I found it in the higher priced section, or your rare records and the harder to find records, and I've never seen it around. Not easy to come by. I've never seen it, so I couldn't pass up the opportunity to grab this copy of Illumination by Paul Weller. It is the original British pressing with the rounded covers and the spot varnish, I guess you could see it here, cover, the gatefold. And the really cool thing, of course, is that it comes with the accompanying booklet, which always really nice feature. Same with the rounded covers, full color, all that stuff. And it was in excellent condition, the vinyl and the cover as well. Definitely a VG plus. Maybe the record's actually a near mint. And the best part of it is that it was discounted at least by 30% from the original price. So great score on this Paul Weller Illumination. And the last record I got was a pleasant surprise because it's a Record Store Day release that I didn't find on the day of Record Store Day, even though I visited 3 different stores. None of them had it. Lo and behold, 4 or 5 days later, it's right there at Princeton Record Exchange, and actually priced cheaper, maybe by $1 cheaper than retail price. And I'm talking about the album Sex Switch, which, as you can see, right here, it's just $1 cheaper, but that's great. Very honest for pricing it at retail or below. And Sex Switch, for those of you that don't know who they are, it is a side project by Natasha Khan. She is the lead singer of the group Bat for Lashes, and this record celebrates its 10th anniversary. In a very nice edition, comes with really cool artwork, on black vinyl, and it comes in a gatefold sleeve, and more importantly, it also has a 12-page booklet with some amazing photography. Have it here, and I actually want to show you some of the pictures. Beautiful pictures, actually. And for those of you, it's pretty much in the vein of Bat for Lashes, a little darker atmospheres, maybe sometimes reminiscent of the other indie group called The Knife, maybe. So excellent release. Love the treatment that this record got, and very great find. So I hope you enjoyed my road trip and my visit to Princeton Record Exchange. If you are anywhere in New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York, please take the opportunity to venture out to Princeton Record Exchange. It's actually fairly easy to get to with public transportation. I believe there's a train stop there, and I think it's not too far from the train stop. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Thank you for your likes, for your dislikes, your comments, for subscribing to the channel. And by the way, if you haven't, just click that subscription button if you want to keep up with all the videos that I'm putting out and be notified possibly when they drop. I guess that's it for today and for this video and for this road trip. Maybe there will be more road trips to other record stores that I will be exploring, and I'd like to share with you. So until the next video, thanks again for watching, and bye.